Okay, here's where we were at the end of the last video. I showed you that we can easily spam the spacebar just by holding it down, and we can make this ridiculously easy to win. So how can we prevent that? Well, what we can do, first of all, we need to realize why that's happening. If I look at my event listener, I'm looking at key down, and if the space bar is down, then I'm firing a laser. Well, if I press it and then just hold it, then that condition is true, and it'll start recognizing that at a very rapid rate, therefore letting us fire at a very rapid rate. So an easy fix is to do something like this. Var fire equals true, and then only allow it to fire while that is true. So if I come back down here, if fire equals true, there you go, fire laser. So then when would I want to make it false? Well, I go down and find my fire laser function, which is right here, and I'll say fire equals false. And then I run it. Okay, so now obviously I can only fire once, which is obviously a problem, but I can fire once, so that takes care of ever being able to fire again. So now I go to decide, when do I want it to go back to true? And here's where you have a few different options. One option would be to go back up to your event listeners. We have the key down event listener. I could add in a key up event listener. So actually, I'll simplify this. I'm going to copy that whole thing, change this to key up, get rid of all of this, so all I'm left with is just looking at the spacebar. So if the spacebar went up, then I don't want to fire anymore, but what I do want to do is change fire to true. So now I'm forced to at least keep pressing the spacebar to fire. If I press and hold, nothing's happening, but I can press repeatedly. So that would be one option. Now, in my opinion, I mean, that kind of still is really easy to win. You would have to kind of decide whether you want to then speed up the game or how you want to address that. But that does fix the problem of just being able to hold the spacebar. So that's one option. Another option would be to create some kind of a interval where it waits like maybe half a second or a quarter of a second or something before changing it back to true. So you could do some kind of an interval. The other option, and as I was thinking about this, I realized as I sit here and fire these lasers are actually never being destroyed. They are just infinitely going up. If I hit an alien, now the laser is destroyed, because in my alien collision, clear down here, I have the splice the alien, but I also have splice the laser, so it's getting rid of the laser. So another option would be, when the laser gets destroyed, now you can fire another one. So as long as there's an active laser on the screen, set it to false. You can't fire again until another laser or that laser is destroyed. So we know it's going to be destroyed here. So at that point, I could change fire back to true. But the problem is going to be my ones that go on forever and ever and ever. Well, where I can fix that is actually in my draw loop for the lasers. So here's where I'm drawing my lasers, and what I can do is I can say if, and there we go, AI is going to help me out there. So if the laser is less than 0, I know it's gone off the screen. And look at that, it's even figuring out what I want to do when it goes off the screen. So I want to splice that laser and then change fire to true. Now let me go up to my event listener and remove this. I'll just comment it out for now. Run it again. Well, let me save. There we go. Run. Okay, so now I'm hitting it over and over and over again, but it's only firing once the previous one disappears. So now it's going to force me to be more accurate in my shooting, because if I come over here, well, let me see if I can get rid of a whole bunch of them. I'm going to try to miss one and have it go clear up to the top. There we go. So there's one that went all the way up the top. So obviously the longer the laser's alive, the longer I'm going to have to go without being able to shoot. And that is going to just kind of add to that gameplay, add a little bit of difficulty, where now I'm going to have to be careful, because that whole time that it's going up, I can't fire. So that's another option. So you have several options there for how you want to handle that if you want to fix that issue. Other than that though, I am now done with at least what I'm going to show you with the game. I'll probably go back now and add in the rest of the stuff like I talked about in the previous video as far as score, game over, increasing speed and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to leave all those details up to you.